Morbid the Lords of Ire is a blood-soaked action-adventure that builds upon the acclaimed game Morbid the Seven Acolytes. Players can engage in combat with horrifying creatures in a 3D environment using various weapons, equipment, and blessings. The game's advanced sanity system impacts the world based on combat choices, altering your perception of reality. They must face monstrous creatures in each level, explore diverse environments, and test their skills against formidable enemies and epic boss battles in this dark and twisted world.
The Lords of Ire.
NeverAwake is a one-of-a-kind twin-stick shooter game with a protagonist named Rem who battles a variety of foes such as vegetables, dogs, and school buddies. The game has more than 80 levels, multiple bosses, and a replayable gameplay system. Players can utilize a variety of weapons and accessories to defeat the creatures in their nightmares. The game's finale is determined by the player's devotion, with several options available. NeverAwake is appropriate for both beginners and professionals, with a fascinating plot and many endings. Wife Quest is an action platformer in which players take on the role of Mia, a former warrior on a mission to battle the monster females who have kidnapped her husband Fernando. The game's pixel imagery is side-scrolling, allowing players to explore different areas and gain new powers. Players may assist Maya vanquish Morgana, the dark elf, and reunite her with Fernando. Mia encounters a variety of monster girls, each with their own animation. The game includes side-scrolling action stages, an epic trip across hills, woods, volcanoes, and caves, and a number of monster girls.
Whether you're a magician.
Lost Castle is a tough action RPG with roguelike features and randomly generated dungeons. The game follows Castle Harwood, once a happy world controlled by enlightened nobility, until it is corrupted by sinister sorcery. Demons have gained possession and engulfed the castle in darkness. Key features include randomly generated dungeons, objects, foes and bosses, frantic vintage action, adorable hand-drawn characters, over 80 items and 50 potions, over 150 weapons and 50 armor sets, a wide range of skills and special attacks, and cooperative gameplay for up to 4 people.
Just the beginning for someone else's adventure.
Shane, a trainee engineer, goes on an exciting voyage to the floating city of Gideon, where he meets difficulties and must choose whether to become a proficient engineer or be exiled for good. Along with fellow trainee Ren, he forms an unexpected friendship that challenges his views and assumptions. The game involves repairing and creating flying contraptions, traversing obstacles, and discovering the stories of previous trial participants. Players may soar over the sky on homemade flying devices, immersing themselves in breathtaking scenery and uncovering the mysteries of Gideon's people.
Where we find out.
BLAZBLUE Cross-Tag Battle offers the ultimate showdown. This game combines fan-favorite characters from BLAZBLUE, Persona, Under Night in Birth, and Ruby into an explosive 2 versus 2 team combat with amazing 2D graphics, tight mechanics, and fluid gameplay. Arc System Works has produced a game that will appeal to both fighting game veterans and newbies. Join the crossover between universes, delve into tag team gaming, and compete against friends or online opponents. BLAZBLUE Cross-Tag Battle, with its broad range of characters and styles, is a must-play for any fighting game lover.
Bye! I'm done holding back! It ends now!
The game takes players on a fascinating trip through Roila, an underwater metropolis that was once a thriving human haven. The city has been overrun by monster creatures altered by sea pollution. The players Pronty and Brant, the Javelin, must combat these creatures while discovering their origins. The game has a unique fighting technique known as the Javelin system, in which players use Brant's skills to resist enemies and conquer obstacles. Players can improve their fighting abilities with swappable upgrades. The underwater metropolis provides a sensory overload. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix is an exciting racing game with 30 playable racers and 70 crew members based on classic Nickelodeon characters. With over 100 characters, players may race on slime-filled circuits, acquire prestigious cups, and unlock over 80 card improvements. The game has online multiplayer and local arena challenges, with up to 8 players battling online. With tens of thousands of all-star character combinations, gamers may compete in both local and online modes. The game contains 28 slime-filled tracks and 2 arena layouts that immerse players in Nickelodeon's vivid universe.
You are the ultimate warrior of your kin.
As an elite fighter, you command Shadow Essence, a mysterious force that offers you dominion over shadows. With this power, you complete duties and objectives to secure the village's survival and release the Aragami who have been enslaved by invasion forces. Discover a full story and engage in fast-paced stealth actions in single-player or co-op with pals. Master skill-based fighting with a high-risk horde ratio. Create your Shadow Assassin and improve your skills and shadow capabilities to save your people and become a legend. Defend the Rashomon Valley and fight the curse. Aragami is a stealth game in which players control and manipulate shadows in order to penetrate opposing ranks. The game is included in the Shadow Edition, which also contains Aragami Nightfall, a narrative campaign that takes place before the events of Aragami. Yamiko, a girl imprisoned in Kiryu City Castle, summons Aragami, a furious spirit. The game puts players on a dark adventure filled with magical abilities, light-shattered combat, and a tale about twin souls that are fated to be together. In this fascinating adventure, players may wield new shadow powers and put their stealth abilities to the test.
It's not easy to break out in the mollusk, kid.
The game contains a wide cast of characters, including androids, artificial intelligence, and corrupt humans, each with their own story to tell. Players may traverse the city on foot and in hover vehicles, solving mysteries in a world of corporate conspiracies, hackers, and renegade AI. Players may immerse themselves in the daily lives of the characters and make long-term decisions that affect the people of Nivalis. Players can also uncover secret areas and artifacts, which unlocks new storylines.
It's a residential zone. I'm sending a nav point now.
Morbid, the Seven Acolytes is a horror punk action role-playing game filled with Lovecraftian horrors and Cronenbergian gore. The player assumes the role of Die Brahm's lone surviving striver, charged with conquering the formidable 7 Acolytes, who are possessed by malicious Gahars. The game has difficult enemies, mini-bosses, and spectacular large-scale boss encounters. Players must learn battle and develop their character and equip through missions, perks, runes, upgrades, and looting in order to succeed. A storm causes a shipwreck on an exotic island teeming with frogs. To gather resources to repair their boat, the player must travel a network of transactions. They meet nice people, solve riddles, and find hidden treasures. The island sandbox lets players explore at their leisure, forging their own path and assisting people. They study frogs and put their knowledge to the test. Players must exchange commodities, solve riddles, and avoid becoming distracted by island life in order to repair their boat. Bramble the Mountain King is a fascinating adventure set in the magical region of Bramble, where players must cross a terrain teeming with dangerous monsters. Oli, the young protagonist, must save his sister from a dangerous troll. The landscape is teeming with both giant and little creatures, and players must be cautious as they go through woods and tunnels. The Spark of Courage, a supernatural relic, enables players to overcome challenges. Players must combat the monstrous animals utilizing a variety of methods and tactics, but bravado without compassion may lead to disaster. Hayfever is a 2D platformer in which players take the character of Thomas, a postman with terrible allergies. The player must utilize his allergies to traverse a perilous world, turning his limitations into strength. Each allergy has a particular effect on Thomas, resulting in major alterations in his interactions with the environment. Pollen creates a forceful sneeze, and pollution causes him to swell. Peanuts pose a unique problem. The game has 4 different worlds, 140 stages, and 240 letters to gather, with an extra difficulty level unlocked with enough letters. Spirit Roots is a fascinating platformer adventure set on the fringes of the solar system, where a century-long battle has resulted in the stitched-together planet. Players must go through 50 levels spread over 5 different worlds, each having its own mood, adversaries, gameplay, and music. Epic boss encounters pit talent and dedication against farming robots, spiders, flying skulls, and mud monsters. The game is suitable for the entire family, allowing players to explore unusual and wonderful scenery while collecting cash and avoiding traps.